Hello, we are pleased to have Professor Kwesi Prah with us. We are in Pretoria. As you can see, this is a union building behind us, and we are here for a symposium on AU at 20. Now, what we are going to talk is about the importance of African languages in the fight for Pan-Africanism. Good morning, Professor.
Good morning.
When we say African languages, what is the importance of African languages in the fight for the Pan-Africans?
That's a very good question. Languages, remember, or language, in fact, is the main pillar of what we call culture.
Exactly.
It is in languages that we transact all our human relations. It is through language that we recognize and identify objects in reality. It is in language that we transmit knowledge and information of any sort. Language is the memory of a people who speak the language. It is not possible to know anything beyond language.
Exactly.
Language, therefore, is of fundamental importance. Secondly, there is a big issue of development, what we call development, which is really the emancipation of people from conditions of constraint and in their everyday lives. All of this sort of thing depends on the language we use.
Let me make it clear. You are a sociologist by training. What brought you to linguistics?
Well, I'm a sociologist plus an anthropologist by training. I have lived in 9 countries now, my 9th country in Africa. Now, with my training, you immediately understand how the cultures on the ground interrelate, how near they are to each other structurally, and how the people also are represented by the language of the ground. Furthermore, it is impossible to conceive of any people who develop or who advance without the advancement being registered in their languages. So language is frightfully crucial, important. It is also the pivot around which identification takes place. Now, our languages happen to be suppressed through the colonial imperial experience. 2 imperial languages or 2 imperial phenomena have confronted Africans from time immemorial. One is the Arabic language, which entered Africa in the 7th century AD, and which has steadily expanded southwards, now into the Sahel, to the extent that about a third of the geographical area of Africa, people use the Arabic language. The other imperial experience of Africans is the European experience of European imperialism in Africa. That has also created Africans who use French, English, Portuguese, and of course one single place where they use Spanish.
Which for our viewers?
Well, French, you know where French is. French is all over West Africa. It's
Yeah, for Spanish.
Central Africa. Spanish is Equatorial Guinea.
Exactly.
Portuguese, you have Cabo Verde and Angola, Mozambique. You see? So language is very important to the extent that our elites now in Africa work in the colonial languages and the imperial languages. It is a hindrance to the process of emancipation and development of Africa. Unless we develop our languages to be languages of science and technology, there is very little hope for development and emancipation of African people. No people on earth make progress on the basis of a borrowed language.
That's true.
We have to develop our African languages, just like the Westerners have done. Italians use Italian in Italy, Germans use German, French use French.
And Africans don't use their languages.
And Africans don't use their languages. You go to China, the Chinese use Chinese. You go to Indonesia, they use Bahasa. They were a colony too in Indonesia.
Luckily enough, Impulse Radio and AmaniTv understood the importance of African languages and the importance. That's why we are broadcasting in Fulani, in Wolof, in Swahili, and we are open to all the African languages. Now, we are. What is your message to young Africans who believe African languages are just a waste of time? What is your message to them?
That message is very simple. That without our languages, we are not Africans. We can't be Africans without African languages. It is not possible to conceive of Africans without African languages. Our color does not dictate how we behave, how we understand things, how we see the world, how we see the world. Our languages dictate that. So we have to start developing our languages, not abandoning them. We have to work in our languages. That is the only thing which will save us culturally from the imperial experience.
Thank you very much, Professor Prah. Do you have something else to add? Because I just want our viewers to know is we will have a series of lectures by Professor in the near future. So what is your last word?
Well, my last word is that there is hope for us. There is definitely hope, because the challenge of language is a popular challenge. Popular in the sense that it represents the overwhelming majority, interests of the overwhelming majority of the African people. Nobody can suppress that forever. Whether we deal with the problem today or tomorrow, we will have to deal with the problem sometime.
I totally agree with you. Thank you very much for taking your time to talk to us. And thanks to our viewers. See you next time. Thank you very much. Thank you.